Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive channel. Nicki Minaj is keeping her foot on Jay-Z and Roc Nation's neck. She is not playing around. And recently, she came after one of Jay-Z's affiliates, Steve Stoute, and I'm going to get into that. But I first want to get into Nicki revealing that people were trying to pay her off to not speak about the bad business deal that she had with Jay-Z and Tidal. Now, back in 2015, Jay-Z launched a streaming service called Tidal, which was supposed to be one of the main competitors for other streaming platforms like Apple and Spotify. And he allowed 16 artists to have stake in the company, which included artists like Beyoncé, Rihanna, Madonna, Kanye West, and of course, Nicki Minaj. Drake was also supposed to be a part of this venture, but he decided to move on and do a deal with Apple instead, which of course angered Jay-Z. But the other 16 artists who did sign with Tidal were promised to be co-owners, and they were also promised to have a small percentage of the profit. Come to find out, they didn't make any money. In fact, Kanye West pulled out of the Tidal deal and said that Jay-Z owed him $3 million. Also, Nicki Minaj came out recently and said that she never got paid any money from Tidal, and this was frustrating for her because at the time she was giving Tidal exclusive rights to stream her music and her music videos. So she was really putting a lot into promoting Tidal, but she didn't get anything in return from it. So she made a comment pretty much saying this: "I didn't even get one red penny when no one promoted it more than me outside of Beyonce. LOL, child." So after Jay-Z's Tidal venture kind of fumbled, he ended up selling majority of it to Jack Dorsey, and he made $297 million from the sale, which was a win for Jay-Z and some of the other co-owners, but not so much of a win for Nicki Minaj. Once Nicki put Tidal on blast for scamming her, the label executive Steve Stoute defended Jay-Z on the Pivot podcast. Now, one thing about Steve Stoute is he is an affiliate to Jay, and so whenever Jay-Z is in a pickle, he always has a few mouthpieces that speak on his behalf. Two of those people are Steve Stoute and Elliott Wilson. They also will go against Jay's ops as well. In fact, Dame Dash implied that Jay-Z was sending people like Steve Stoute to come at him.
I don't know why everybody wants to send certain people. There's certain people that always are defending certain people and talking about me. And I know that they're sent to do it. And Steve Stoute's one of those pause, burger face, stupid ass, will do anything anybody tells him for $1, hate his culture. And I just want to know who sent you, but you're making it obvious. And why you won't leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean?
Now, Steve Stoute did recently sit down on the Pivot podcast, and he came on there to defend Jay-Z after the whole halftime show Super Bowl controversy. And he also addressed Nicki Minaj's claims that she wasn't paid by Tidal.
I really don't like when people who open up doors as black people get shit on publicly like that. I just don't like it. I think in that case, what Nicki did was wrong. To bring up Tidal, his streaming company, that he gave you equity in, that you didn't sign the fucking paperwork, and that's the reason why you left millions of dollars on the table. That man didn't do nothing to you.
Now, Nicki Minaj responded to this, and this is what she said on Twitter. She said, "I received a call advising Tidal was sold, and they made no money on the deal. So all they could offer me was $1 million. But wait, there's more. The lawyer advised that Deseret, aka Desiree from Roc Nation, advised him that I had to sign the agreement in 24 hours if I wanted the $1 million or the offer was off the table. Listen to the end of fractions for what my response was." And she did reference Jay-Z and said, "While I count a mill, jigga what, jigga who." Also, she said this: "So Barbs, thank you for supporting something I was a part of. I love you, but I was scammed and offered $1 million to be silenced. I declined. The grace of God is sufficient. I didn't need their hush money." Hashtag Gag City Los Angeles. Tonight and tomorrow night, my documentary was also... So Nicki was offered $1 million, but she was supposed to get more. She had like a 3% equity in the company, and she signed the contract. but she did not get what she was promised. Instead, she was lowballed with the $1 million offer, and it was an insult to her. She felt like they were only offering it to her to silence her, so she didn't take it. Not only that, she kind of hinted about her documentary, which I believe was probably blocked by Roc Nation because she was planning to spill some tea about her relationship with Meek Mill. And at the time, Meek was a part of Roc Nation, so I don't think they wanted that documentary out. Who knows? Maybe they blocked that documentary for that reason. She also went on to say this: they got to keep the conversation on me so that no one asks about these charges against their BFF. Woo-wee! She talking about Diddy now. I mean, it seems the 30-year-old T here is far from stale. Patterns, yet, sass, ugly, alien, stout, D-breath, etc. all talking about Onika. Why are they talking about Oniqua? And Nicki responded to this interesting comment saying they wanted brunch and baby oil. So they were referencing the Roc Nation brunch and Diddy's 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Now, Nicki responded and said, worried about the tea of a 15-year-old child who was railroaded, and she's referencing her husband, Kenneth Petty. And she also said, but no comments on the tea and baby oil that's been going on for decades and as recent as months ago. If 15-year-olds need to be held accountable and told they can never move past their past, then what about the 30-year-olds who groomed, sat by and was silent, etc.? Oh, right. Let's keep the blogs focused on Oniqua. Short and stout D don't want to talk about him friend them. You know what? That's a good question, though. That's a good question. Like, Steve is talking about everything but his friend Diddy. I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, he was in Diddy's close circle. He was hanging out with him tough, him and Jay-Z. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but that's an interesting point. Now, Nicki went on to call out a few people and she nicknamed them. I don't know who all the nicknames are for, but I'm going to take a guess. I could be wrong about this, but these are just my guesses. She said, Dear Short and Stout D, who is obviously Steve Stout, Laffy Taffy Alien. I don't know. Is she talking about Jay-Z because he has a funny laugh? Like, that's how he laughs. Also, she said D-breath. And this could have been about Elliott Wilson or the radio host who shaded her recently named Fathom Got the Juice. He said that Nicki was trying to duck his questions and she said his breath stank to high heaven. So she could have been talking about either one of those guys. And she also said SAS or SAS. I think she might be talking about Stephen A. Smith because he did criticize her as well. And he also happens to be a friend of Jay-Z. But she has all of these wild nicknames. And she went on to say this in her tweet. Now, this is interesting. She said, we want to know if you were present during the abuse of teenagers and children. That's what we want to know. You can't taste my pee. Stop. Aaliyah, Foxy, etc. During R. Kelly video shoots and stuff, did you know about the abuse to Kim Porter and Cassie? Y'all seem to always run in a sort of rat pack. So that's what we, the people, want you and your peeps to speak on. Ugly, bald head, bowling ball B. You ends don't have this energy for gangsters in person, but only for bees on the internet. Whew. Somebody protect Nicki Minaj because she's getting a little too deep. She's getting a little too deep. And she also responded to this post of her surpassing Jay-Z on Billboard. She said, move. Listen, Nicki is bold. She is very bold. And I'm not mad at her for going in, but I am a little concerned and a little scared for her a little bit. But she's the type who has no fear. You know, she's going to speak her mind every single time. So that's who she is. Now, there has been some tea swirling, okay? There's been some tea swirling that Jay-Z allegedly met up with a criminal defense attorney and a divorce attorney. Now, this was put out there by NT Lawyer, and I believe they have affiliation with the anonymous tipster site called Crazy Days and Nights. I don't know if this is true or not, but they are saying that this has something to do with Diddy's takedown. I mean, we do know that Jay-Z and Diddy were really, really, really close. We know that they hung around each other quite a bit at different events, different parties. And we also know that Diddy was out here recording celebrities without their knowledge and using it as blackmail. And who knows, maybe Jay-Z and Beyonce are on those tapes. It's also possible that Diddy might try to take Jay-Z down with him if he ever got a chance to confess and spill the tea about the other people who are involved in his whole operation. Who knows? Diddy is not going to be the type to go down by himself. He's going to bring some other people down with him. And there's a reason why you have all these CEOs suddenly stepping down from their companies. There's a reason why all of these celebrities and public figures are silent and they're scrambling. It's because things are about to hit the fan. I have a feeling that the Kardashian family are really about to go under over this because they have close ties to this situation as well. It was rumored that Kim Kardashian was one of Diddy's accomplices, allegedly.
New information suggests that not only was Kim aware of Diddy's questionable activities, but she also allegedly aided him in covering up the evidence and compensating his victims in exchange for a cut of the profits.
Also, Khloe admitted in one of the episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians that she actually was at one of Diddy's parties, and she pretty much put it out there that it was a freak off party because most of the people there weren't wearing clothes.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French Montana.
Oh, this party? I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
So this is what Khloe said. Now, it was disturbing to me when she name dropped Justin Bieber and Quincy. I hope she's not talking about Diddy's son, well, his stepson, Quincy Brown. I don't know, y'all. This is just disturbing. And apparently they were of age, but still, the fact that they were there is disturbing. But the Kardashians are just a few of the many people who are suspected to be involved in Diddy's shenanigans. And Cat Williams actually put this on his IG story and said that Diddy is snitching on everybody. And one thing we could all agree on is Cat hasn't been wrong about any of this yet.
Period. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Now, I went off topic a little bit, but I want to get back to Jay-Z. If this inside tea is true, it's possible that Jay-Z is preparing himself for the legal trouble and the backlash in the future. It's also possible that Beyonce is trying to separate herself from Jay-Z. If he goes down, it's not going to be a good look for her either. So she probably is getting her ducks in a row and planning out her escape. I kind of wish she escaped sooner, though. I wish she escaped after that whole cheating scandal happened. You know, the cheating scandal that had Solange whooping Jay-Z in the elevator. I wish she left then. But she stayed, and now a lot of this mess involving Diddy is coming closer to her front door, and it's just not a good look. But I don't know. Do y'all believe this tea that Jay-Z met with attorneys and he's gearing up to prepare for any legal trouble? I don't know, but we shall see what happens. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.